Every year at the People Helping People Awards, the Youth Volunteer Award is given to an individual under the age of 21 who has performed a special deed or project in their community. Last year's recipient was Caty Rodriguez. Her story began on December 26 of 2007, when 15-year-old Caty received a gift that would change her young life. She gave birth to a beautiful baby boy she named Isaac. As if being a teen mom wasn't taxing enough, Isaac was also diagnosed with cerebral palsy, a condition she knew little about. With the help of her mother Maria, she managed to continue school while caring for her son and his many needs. But the complications of cerebral palsy proved to be too much for young Isaac. And on July 17, 2009, baby Isaac passed away.
When Isaac passed, I saw my daughter Caty that she wasn't talking about it. You know, she was holding her grief, and I could tell that she was suffering. And it was time for her to go to school and go back to a normal life, and that was really difficult for her and us to see her, you know, suffer. But she wouldn't cry, she wouldn't talk about it.
Little did the family know that help would come in the form of a school assignment.
It's a requirement for every senior. You have to do a senior project to learn about something you've never done before. And I chose to help others because really I love to do that.
An internet search led her to United Cerebral Palsy and Stephen Horton.
Caty phoned me out of the blue one summer and said that she wanted to raise awareness about cerebral palsy in winters and do a fundraiser. She wanted to make a difference in her community. She didn't know anything about, never heard of cerebral palsy before her son was born, and she wanted other people to be alerted, and she also wanted to help generate resources for other families that were going through this kind of problem.
Well, the first project I did was a car wash. I got my friends and family to come and help.
Here's a senior in high school, and it was going to do a car wash. I thought, a couple $100, awesome. We want to be a part of that and support her in any way. Caty far surpassed anything I thought she would do.
At the end of the day, she had raised over $1,000, but Caty wasn't done.
Even though I raised that much money, I still didn't feel satisfied. I still wanted to go on and raise more money. Not just because I wanted it to be a lot of money, but because I wanted to help more than just one or two.
Caty organized event after event. She put together a hike-a-thon at the Bobcat Ranch. She held a yard sale with donated items at the local community center. She raffled off a hot tub. And while setting up an account to hold the incoming money, she found another ally in First Northern Bank of Winters.
The staff there were just really generous with her. They set up an account for the money she was raising, and they did hearts that they posted in their bank, and so any customer that gave a donation to Caty's fund, they got to write their name on one of these hearts and post them in the bank. At the end, she presented a check to us for $7,800, which was just way past not only her expectations, but mine as well. I had absolutely no idea.
Caty not only made a difference in her community, she made a difference in her own life as well.
It's highly unusual to see people with that kind of depth of loss be able to focus on people around her and her community.
And when this senior project came up and she came up with this idea, I thought, you know, this is great. She could talk about it, you know, people can learn about it, people can know about it, and she could grieve that way. So when she started talking about it and people started asking her, I could tell that it was really hard for her. But she opened up and she did it, and I think that's what helped her deal with her grieving.
She demonstrated that you can rise above grief. She demonstrated that for young people, you can have a voice in community, you can be a part of community, you can impact. You don't have to be class president to do that. You can be an individual, and Caty demonstrated on so many levels what it's like to make an impact on others. It was very inspiring. I'm still inspired by her.